Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening from, and whatever time of the year or whenever in years to come that you may be listening to this recording. Just to give you a bit of background, this video is being recorded in December 2020, in the year 2020. So, just in case you are watching and listening to this recording or watching this video, you might realize that this is not really applicable to your use cases down the line, but it's just quite similar to what it may be different in the future. But this is what really kind of exists today. So, these are the kind of scenarios and use cases we have today. So we have an AWS cloud environment. Then we have use cases where organizations have data centers, be it a managed data center that is being managed by a third party, or be it them managing the data center by themselves internally. So they have an on-premise data center, and they've recently subscribed or bought an account in AWS. So whether it's a PRC Go or enterprise account, it doesn't really matter. So they have they have they have a footprint in AWS basically. So they would like to a situation where they can actually extend some of their services to the cloud for several reasons, for quickness to market, agility, cost efficiency, reduction in total cost of ownership, and quick return on investment. Such a thing. There are different reasons for that. So, so this is a company one, whatever company, whatever industry vertical they may be, and company two. So, but let's consider these two use cases in isolation. So let's cut, let's split it into two. So company one has an on-premise already, and they are currently thinking or probably just kind of in the first phase of their cloud uh, presence. So the ways this can be done is they can either have what we call the side-to-side VPN connection to between themselves, between their on-premise and their AWS account, or depending on their workload, they can actually go for a direct connect, which is an AWS service, which uses the AWS backbone, communication backbone to communicate between the on-premise and the cloud basically. Whereas the side-to-side VPN kind of goes through the internet, even though it is encrypted, it cannot really be compromised easily, but it has a bit of limitation the moment your workload is really kind of high. So you may have some limitation there, but the direct connect gives you more bandwidth and more opportunity, and it's quicker to actually transfer and transmit information across your two environments. So you can do that and use either of the connection. So generally speaking, most people would tend to go for the side-to-side VPN, particularly immediately, because these can actually be set up very quickly. If you already got like a site-to-site VPN concentrator on your on-premise, to actually do connect to AWS wouldn't really take time at all. It can be done in minutes to hours. So whereas the direct connect takes a bit of time to set up, I will be putting in the comment like the average time it actually takes to set this up. I've heard in some cases where it takes months, but I will be providing a comment like in the description below, like how long it really takes. Maybe as a viewer, you can actually contribute in the comments as well, like how long it takes you to set up your direct connect or other form of connectivity for the cloud that you might have done before. So, like I said, site to site takes relatively short time. So that really kind of explains this. And everything I've explained for company one is actually applicable to company two as well. So you have your on-premise and you want to have like a footprint in the cloud, specifically within AWS cloud. So you recently bought an AWS account. So the ways to join them is site to site or direct connect right now, as you speak, in 2020. Down the line, that might change, but those are the two options. Those are the two services you have right now. And I'll be just kind of going through this quickly to tell you that maybe you might actually have a situation where you want to actually extend connection maybe between different AWS accounts, extend your Active Directory so that there can be communication between two different organizations of some sort. So you can be extending rather than via your on-premise, you can actually be doing it within AWS. So you can just use if the two of you already have like an AWS subscription or AWS account, you can actually extend your environment using the VPC peering connection, which generally actually takes a few minutes as well to set up. It depends. This may depend, but it's within minutes, so it's very quick. I would say. So just to kind of tell you some of the use cases below. So I'll be moving to the next slide. I hope this makes sense as I've described it. So just to reiterate, so for your on-premise and AWS accounts, you use site to site or direct connect. For your AWS account and maybe yours or another company's AWS account, you can use VPC peering to do that, to do your connection. You can use, there are other options you can use as well, but this is the cost effective and the quickest amongst them. So you can use that to have communication between these two AWS accounts, right? So, oh yeah, please hit the subscribe button while we continue this presentation. So uh, please do subscribe to help this recording, to help these more videos to be churned out in coming days as well, just to help this channel. Thank you as you do so. Okay, so I'll be talking to us what kind of use cases we have in this uh, architecture. So the one of the use cases is maybe you have like a branch office. So if you have a branch office, you can have this kind of use case. Maybe this is the head office, maybe this is a branch office. Rather than company one or company two, it could be an head office, a branch office, or something. So you can have similar connection if that were the case. Or it could be like the head office would have one AWS account, and the branch office can actually connect to it as well. So it could be that, or it could be if the branch office is already connected to the on-premise, it will relatively be seamless to have connectivity to the AWS account. So you may probably need to isolate this bit. But there are some use cases where the organization may actually be relatively independent, but I'll be talking you through that in the following coming slides. So, but this use case is really kind of more applicable to an organization, maybe multinational, maybe a small business or something, but they have like multiple offices. So you can have this kind of architecture as well. The other one is use case two is when you recently bought or maybe you are involved in merger and acquisition of another enterprise or another business. So they could have actually had the same setup as yourself already. And one way you can do that is to either just connect the two of them together, the two VPCs together. By so doing, uh, you can easily extend your Active Directory. This is assuming you are using Active Directory in both environments. You can easily extend the Active Directory across environments. So, which I'll be talking you through in subsequent videos, how to actually configure the extension. For some of us, this architecture may easily make sense, but for other people, maybe in the comment below and the description, I'll be providing links to the subsequent configuration proper, how you actually set it up. So I'm just kind of describing the use cases in this particular video. So so maybe there is an acquisition, maybe company A just bought or company one just bought company two over. So and company two has similar setup as company A. So one way is for them to just kind of have like a VPC pairing between the two of them, or one of them can say, okay, we will migrate all the workload here, we migrate it here, and we can actually have a site-to-site connection between the offices, and by so doing, the two offices will have connectivity to this environment anyway. So they may decide to have a different VPC to have a different IP address subnet, or maybe they can have the same CIDR block. Maybe they can convert this one to a 192.168 CIDR block as well, or they can leave it as it is. So if they left it as it is, so they may have to create another VPC account for that, another VPC rather than another AWS account. So they can just create another VPC within the AWS account of the head office, basically, or the acquiring organization. So the other use case is maybe you have like a small business. I think it's similar to the first one. Uh, the first one I talked about, which is the branch office. So this one is quite similar. So it could be like a business unit or an entity of some sort, maybe a business unit that operates by itself, even though it's owned by company A, but on the paperwork, it's kind of independent. So you can have such setup as well, where organization operates independently on the from the paper or financial standpoint, but from the architectural standpoint, they are still kind of connected. So that could be this kind of connectivity or this kind of architecture or infrastructure that you can have, where even though a business is on its own for tax purposes or for business purposes, but for infrastructure purposes, they are kind of tied and connected together. So you can have a similar setup where you either have a VPC pairing between the AWS account, or you have the head office CIDR block and Windows Active Directory extension to being extended to the other business unit or entity. So that's another use case. And the other use cases could be like when you have a strategic partnership with another organization. There are so many use cases like that. So it's just a partnership. Like it could be like you have a business venture together, and even though you are two different organizations, you don't have any relationship in terms of how you are being taxed, how you pay your corporate tax or something, but you have like a business interest together. So as part of your business interest, there could be a need for you to have a bit of infrastructure connectivity. So that kind of use case is very common. For instance, when I'm talking about the a managed data center, uh, for instance, if your data center is managed by a third party, you could be it could be better for you to actually have some form of infrastructure strategic partnership of some sort where your infrastructure is kind of connected to one another, if not in both ways, but at least in one way, so that it can be very easy to manage your environment on your behalf. Some of the use cases I have seen before is when you have maybe the organization is actually either supporting or managing your your databases, your infrastructure, your Active Directory, or your data center, as I've said before. They are managing your core infrastructure, for instance. So you can have this kind of setup. And the other setup is maybe they are just managing your user end of the infrastructure. So they are not managing the core infrastructure, but they are managing the user end of it. Maybe they are managing their desktops, their laptops, their computers, their printers, their phones. So those are the end user side of this the environment that they are managing. So this kind of strategic partnership in terms of architecture connectivity actually apply as well. And the other one is actually third party. This is very similar to strategic connectivity. So if you have like a vendor, a third party provider or service provider, uh, there may need to be some kind of infrastructure connectivity. So if they were supporting you, they are supporting your application, they are supporting your infrastructure or something. They might not be your data center host, but they could be some infrastructure or application development organization or application solution provider of some sort. So that could be another use case for that. I think those are the kind of use cases I've been able to kind of come up with here. So if you have other use cases, please do comment in the comment section below. And if I think these are many of the use cases I have come across during some of the works I've done before. Like I said to you, I will be providing some demonstration to actually show you technically how to actually achieve what I've described, to really achieve and make sure this really works. So that's what I'll be um, doing after this. But you may not see it in this particular video, but I'll be providing the link in the description and the comment below as well. So do feel free to contribute by commenting and to help this the work that we are doing on this channel. Please do subscribe to this channel. uh, that will really kind of help to be able to continue what we're trying to do, to really kind of bring a lot of people up to speed with what is trending, if I can say that, what is trending in the IT world as of now. Particularly if you look at the situation where we found ourselves in 2020, talking about the coronavirus 19 that has really kind of brought many organizations and the world at large to its knees in terms of number of deaths, in terms of economic inviability right now. So a lot of crumbling going on, and many people are sick, many people continues to be sick, and a lot of people um, have been reported dead, and maybe we all know a few people that might have been in that number as well. So this kind of information in terms of this cloud trends It's actually good for this time where a lot of things can actually be done in the cloud, because a lot of people are actually having to work from home than ever before. At least this year, 2020, subsequently 2021 and beyond, it might be different. But as of 2020, that is the case, and that is the situation where a lot more people are working from home. So if that were the case, a lot of things, cloud, it's really the trending topic right now. So do support us what I'm doing and do support this channel. That'll be very well appreciated. Thank you so much. So in subsequent videos, which I'll be talking about in the comment below, just to on the description as well, just to let you know what I've done or what is really kind of relevant to this particular information, this particular demonstration. That will really help. Thanks so much. Subscribe. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.